Very good morning, children. I'm back again, as usual, with English recorded class. And this is Ma'am Anna, your English teacher. Are you all ready for today's session? Let's get started then. Wow, what a beautiful garden, isn't it, children? Even though the house is small, look at the garden, the greenery, the beautiful flowers. It's well maintained, isn't it? How I wish I too had enough space to grow or to have a garden. You all might be wondering, what is this going to do in today's class? Correct. Wait and watch. Let's look at today's content. We will start off with the new poem, which is Sonnet, written by Toru Dutt. We will also look into the biography of Toru Dutt, then a few vocabulary. Then of course comes my time to ask you all questions. We will summarize all what we have learned, and then lastly comes your assignment, which is your classwork and your homework. Before we start off with the poem, children, let's look at the life of Toru Dutt. Toru Dutt, or Tarulata Dutt, was an Indian poet born in the Bengal province in 1856 to the well-known Rambagan Dutt family. As the youngest child of Govind Chandra Dutt and Kshetramoni Mitter, Toru belonged to a family of writers. Her father, Govind Chandra Dutt, was an employee of the Government of India, was a linguistic and also published some poems. Her mother, Kshetramoni Mitter, was a woman who loved Hindu mythology and translated the book The Blood of Christ into Bengali. Because of her father's governmental employment, the family travelled frequently. Toru was a Bengali translator and poet from the Indian subcontinent who wrote in English and French. She is seen as one of the founding figures of Indo-Algerian literature that is known for her volumes of poetry in English. Her poems revolve around themes of loneliness, longing, patriotism, and nostalgia. Toru Dutt died in a very young age on 30th August 1877 at the age of 21. So now we know who Toru Dutt is and a little about her, isn't it? Let's start the poem, children, then. Turn to page 56, and while I'm reciting the poem, I want you all to toss your fingers through and keep your ears wide open so that you can listen to what has been read. Sonnet, written by Toru Dutt. A sea of foliage grids a garden round, but not a sea of dull unvaried green. Sharp contrasts of all colors here are seen. The light green, graceful tamarins abound. Amid the mango clumps of green profound, and palms arise like pillars grey. Between and o'er the quiet pools the seamless lean. Red, red, and startling like a trumpet sound. But nothing can be lovelier than the ranges of bamboos to the eastward, where the moon looks through their gaps and the white lotus changes into a cup of silver. One might swoon, drunken with the beauty, then, or gaze and gaze on a primeval Eden in amaze. Hope you all have listened to what was recited, children. I want you all to recite the poem the way I did, and I want you all to frame sentences for the words which I'm telling now. The first one, dull. The second one, arise. Third one, lovelier. Fourth one, beauty. And fifth one, amaze. This has to be written in your homework book, children. All right? Let me explain the poem for you all, children. This is nothing but the description of the garden given by the poet. Now, Taurudat describes the beauty of the garden around her family bungalow. She tells us that her garden appeared like a sea of foliage. Look at that. I put a picture which looked very green, like how the water is blue and green sometimes. Her garden looked the same way. She tells that she cautions us not to come to a hasty conclusion and think that it was a sea of dull, unvaried green. One could see sharp contrasts of colors, such as light green and tamarins, which grow abundantly among the mango clumps of green profound of dark green. So here she's just describing that her tamarind, which grew, were green in color, and the mango that were in groups, grown in groups, were of dark green and little light and dark green mixed. In between the tamarind and the mango trees, the palms arise, sky high like grey pillars, and the simals tree lean over the scenes. In the pond, they all are dashing red in color, which glares in our eyes, similar to the startling sound of a trumpet. See, I've also put a picture of how the palm tree is grown like a pillar near the pool. The poet is also enchanted by the bamboo in the east of the gardens. She tells us that no other sight in the garden is as lovely as the bamboo. And she also says, when the moon peeps through their gaps in the moonlight, while lotus transforms itself into a cup of silver. So I've also put up a picture like how the moon is just falling into the lotus and it is becoming like a cup of silver. The beauty of the garden was so enchanting that one can get intoxicated by the beauty and go on gazing at the primeval Eden in utter amazement. Eden is the beautiful garden on earth created for the first human beings of the earth, which is Adam and Eve. Most of you would have read the story of Adam and Eve. So she's comparing her garden to be so beautiful like the Eden garden, which was meant for Adam and Eve. It's very simple, children. It's nothing but just the description of her garden, which is in the house. That's all. She's just describing her garden, how it looked, and she's comparing it. It's very simple and easy to understand. Hope you all have understood. If you haven't understood, children, please go through the poem again and again. You will definitely understand it. Let's look at some glossaries now, which is meanings. Foliage, leafy parts of a tree or plant. Clumps, a bunch. Profound, having intellectual depth and insight. Semels, multiple colors of the flowers that are placed together. Swoon, be extremely excited and impressed by someone or something. Amaze, to overwhelm with surprise or sudden wonder. Let's look at some antonyms now. Grid, mismatch, mess. Dull, intelligent, bright. Abound, languish, decline. Arise, cease, disappear. Amid, beyond, separated. Beauty, crudeness, ugliness. Gaze, wink, ignore. Range, confuse, jumble. Oh my God, it's time to ask questions. Are you all ready, children? With a pen and a paper handy to jot down the question? If not, please keep your paper and pencil ready, or you can also type in your answers and send it to me. And I want most of y'all participating. This question time is not just for 1 or 2 children, it's for all those who are watching the video. All right? Now, where was Thorudath born? Where was Thorudath born? What was her mother's occupation? What was her mother's occupation? What was she famous for? What was she famous for? The fourth question, what did her poem describe? What did her poem describe? And the last one, at what age did she die? At what age did she die? And then, what is the antonym of gaze? Antonym of gaze. So, let me see who will be the first one to get all these answers correct. All the best, children. Now let's quickly summarize all what we have learned. In today's session, we started a new poem, which is the sonnet, and I did tell you all a little about Thorudath, who is the author, and I explained the lesson for y'all with pictures. We also looked into some glossaries and antonyms, and I did ask you all questions, isn't it? Hope you all have understood the poem well. If not, you all should be knowing what you have to do. Isn't it, children? Let's move on to the next slide. Children, let's look at your assignment, which is your classwork and homework. Now, summary of the poem I will be sending via WhatsApp. All what you have to do is you will have to take a new page, write the heading as sonnet, and you will copy the summary that is being sent in the group via WhatsApp. Okay? Even if the heading is not mentioned, you will mention the heading as sonnet. All right? And I will also be sending few glossaries and antonyms. See that you write the glossary first, then the summary of the poem, and then the antonyms. All right, children? And for your homework, learn and write the glossary and antonyms twice in the homework book. Once again, I'm repeating, learn and write the glossary and antonyms twice in the homework book. And I want all of y'all sending me the notes that you have written via WhatsApp. Children, please take your studies seriously. See that you all learn all what is given on that particular day itself. Please complete your classwork. Do not keep asking, ma'am, will you please send the notes once again, which is not correct. And most of you do not watch the video till the end. And that's the reason you don't understand what the homework or the classwork is being given. So children, please go through the video till the end, answer the questions, and complete your classwork and homework books on time. All right? See that? Any doubts if you have, feel free to message me or call me. Until we meet in the next session. This is Ma'am Anna signing off. Take care.